Good evening, friends. Over the years, we have delved into the depths of Mahabharata epic through various mediums, be it reading the ancient scriptures, observing the profound teachings of revered spiritual leaders, or immersing yourself in the televised adaptations of the timeless tales. While I may not offer anything novel in terms of recounting its events and legendary characters, I have chosen to integrate this epic into my Sunday discourse on sanatana dharma with a specific purpose in mind. My intention is to illuminate the significant events and subplots of Mahabharata resonating the relevance in this 21st century. It's crucial for every young individual to recognize that these narratives are not merely stories of the past but are imbued with profound moral values. They serve as a guiding beacons, illuminating the path to righteousness and perfection in one's life journey. Let us view my messages through this lens of enlightenment, allowing me to continue my mission of imparting wisdom and insight. And the Ajagara Parva of Mahabharata that comes next unveils the saga of sage Mandavya, delving deep into the realms of karma and dharma. Revered for his austere practices and profound wisdom, Mandavya's life took a dire turn when falsely accused of a crime. While immersed in meditation, unaware of robbers seeking refuge, soldiers unearthed stolen goods in his hermitage, branding him as an accomplice without inquiry. Despite vehement protest, the king's court condemned him to impalement. And in a crucial twist, Mandavya endured the stakes piercing, sustained by his yogic prowess, enduring agonizing years, immobilized yet conscious. Amid relentless suffering, his mind wrestled with the notions of justice, pondering karma's intricacies and the divine's role in human affliction. Moved by his plight, the gods intervened, granting him agency over his lifespan as recompense for the king's hastiness. Choosing forgiveness and longevity, Mandavya emerged from this ordeal, dedicating himself anew to asceticism and enlightenment. His saga resonates as a poignant testament to the perils of rash judgments and the imperative of upholding righteousness and justice. And next comes the story of Nahusha, depicted in the Ajagara Parva of the Mahabharata. It's a within the Vanaparva and is a profound narrative rich in moral and philosophical lessons. Nahusha, an illustrious ancestor of Kuru lineage, was initially a righteous king and ascetic who earned great merit and was even invited to become Indra, the king of gods, due to his virtuous deeds. However, Nahusha's downfall began when he became intoxicated with power and ego after assuming the position of Indra. And he started mistreating sages and Brahmins, relying on their help to fulfill their desires and even forcing them to carry his chariot. Nahusha's arrogance reached its peak when he kicked the revered sage Agastya on his head during one of his chariot rides. This act led sage Bhrigu, who was invisibly present, to curse Nahusha condemning him to fall from heaven and become a serpent on earth. Years later, during the Pandavas' exile, Bhima, one of the Pandava brothers, encountered Nahusha in his serpent form and was ensnared by him. Nahusha revealed his identity and explained his predicament to Bhima, mentioning that he could only be freed from his curse if someone answered his question satisfactorily. Yudhishthira arrived at the scene and engaged in a dialogue with Nahusha, answering his questions on righteousness and spirituality. The enlightening dialogue between Nahusha and Yudhishthira, leading to Bhima's release and Nahusha's eventual release from his curse. So the story emphasizes the consequences of ego and the importance of righteousness and renunciation in maintaining spiritual and moral integrity. And Nahusha's journey serves as a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of power and the necessity of humility and virtuous conduct in one's life. Yudhishthira states that one attains salvation by bestowing alms on proper objects, speaking kind words, telling the truth, and abstaining from injuring any creature. He explained that the importance of truth and alms giving depends on their utility, and the same applies to kind behavior and abstention from injuring any creature. It's emphasized that the truth, charity, forgiveness, benevolence, benignity, and kindness and the Veda, the guiding light for all orders, are not exclusive to Brahmanas. These qualities found in a Sudra are not absent in a Brahmana and vice versa. Caste is not defined solely by birth. A true Brahmana embodies these virtues regardless of lineage, just as cold exists without heat and heat without cold. There are entities where both happiness and misery are absent, and human existence unfolds in three realms: earthly, celestial, or as creatures. Those virtuous ascend to heavenly realms, while the sinful regress to human or lower forms. Delving deeper, he revealed that beings ensnared by their actions traverse these realms cyclically. However, the enlightened reconnect with the eternal Supreme Spirit, transcending the cycle of birth and death. The Atman, taking residence in a physical body and utilizing the senses, mind, and intellect as instruments, perceives the tangible world. And these faculties, collectively termed as karanas, facilitate the soul's interaction with its surroundings. So the crux of the dialects underscores the peril of succumbing to the seduced trappings of prosperity and which can ensnare even the sagacity of wise and the valor of the valiant. It vividly portrays how the pursuit of opulence can precipitate the forfeiture of reason and precipitate a descent from the exalted heights. Through Nahusha's anecdote, we discern his own ignominious downfall wrought by hubris and haughtiness, resulting in metamorphosis into a serpent. However, amidst this discourse with Yudhishthira, Nahusha finds absolution and catharsis for his curse, and he underscores the paramountcy of virtues such as veracity, benevolence, self restraint, and penance in attaining deliverance, irrespective of one's social station or lineage. Ultimately, the passage illumines the transformative potential of humility and virtue in surmounting adversity and achieving spiritual emancipation. So, the heart of the discussion between the serpent and Yudhishthira revolves around the transcendence of caste based on character rather than birth. The serpent emphasizes the insignificance of caste distinctions without considering one's conduct. And Yudhishthira agrees highlighting the complexity of caste determination in an era marked by intermingling among the four orders. So he underscored the paramount importance of character over birth in defining one's status, advocating for the recognition of those who uphold righteousness as true Brahmanas. So we'll continue further the next episode from the Vanaparva next week. Have a wonderful week ahead. Best regards, Raju Krishnan, Hyderabad.